Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while, I've been away and I've also been busy with things at work, so I haven't released a video in a couple of weeks. So now I'm back, hopefully that will change again. And I had a little haul of some summery items, so I thought I'd show you those. This is the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Linen Market paper pad. I ordered the 6x8 pad. I think these were released in 2024 last year, but I thought they were perfect for this summer too. So you can still get hold of these. So there's 24 sheets in this pad. If I show you them this way around, then you can see them a bit better. They're falling out a bit actually now. So there's a pale blue gingham with roses there. Some ditzy florals and some linen kind of bandana material look images. A grid pattern. More roses with a yellow background. A pink gingham, butterflies with a text page, beautiful red gingham with the slate blue-grey background and the roses, navy gingham, love this one with the large image and the doily, yellow gingham and a lovely ditzy red and blue floral on that one, blue polka dots and some cut aparts here with the little parcel post and journaling spots, grid patterns. This one is lovely with the patchwork of the different patterns. Another bandana style material pattern and some tags here. We've got 12 tags on this page, perfect for cutting apart. And then some cut aparts. These are 3x4 in size. Layered images, areas for journaling and some text. And a second set. Those are lovely. And then we go with a lemony background, beautiful. Then we go back to start again and we get 12 more papers. So that is the 6x8 pad, which I thought was perfect for cards and other projects. Then I ordered just a few sheets of the, well in fact 2 sheets of the 12x12. I bought the larger size with the tags on because I thought those would be handy. On this one you get 5, 10, 15 on there, and the background is also with the tag areas to write on the back, so they're very handy for cutting apart. And then I bought these cut aparts, 12 on these, and on the backs of these ones the lemon paper. I just bought 2 sheets of those. And then I bought the sticker sheet, love this, plenty of images here, florals, some text, lots of little sentiments here, beautiful, delightful, some border strips, happy here, and some images too that I can stick and layer up. So I bought that one. And the final thing I bought in this was floral bits. This was the die cut pieces. There's 51 in this pack. Take them out so you can see what they're like. And I thought these would be perfect for layering up cards. Loads of flowers, which is, you can't go wrong with flowers, can you? Butterflies, bees, some really nice images here, some realistic ones, and ladybirds, some more, there's another realistic one there, some more watercolory artsy looking, so plenty to have a go at there. So those are what I bought. So then I'm going to have a go at making some things and sharing those and how to make them with you. So I'll see you in the next part. So this is what I've made with part of the elements that I've just shown you from my little haul. It's what I'm calling a Pocket Flip Folio. I'll show it to you briefly and then I'll show you how I've made it. So it's got a lovely little front like this, nice and simple, with some of my sentiments, some of the elements from the element pieces, the die cuts. I've got little pieces poking out, my tags here. When you open it up, inside I've got pockets with room galore to add your cut aparts and your tags, all sorts in here, all the way up. And then this side I've got a waterfall area where you can add plenty of photographs here, plenty of journaling, and at the side here a lovely little tag element where you can add all sorts in this pocket, including your receipts and little mementos. So I'll show you how I've made that now. So what I've come up with to make with this 6x8 pad and some of the other elements from this collection is what I'm calling a pocket flap folio. So I've been away, and I don't know about you, but I'm taking a million photographs, and there's never going to be a point when I can put all them in an album. So this is just for those days of your holiday when you want to put some pictures in of a really good day out, maybe some tickets, receipts, little things like that, memorabilia. So I'm calling this a pocket flap folio, and I've used in the end half of this pad. So I've wrote some instructions down of what you'll need. So first of all, for the base, you need a piece of either white card or a coloured card. I've just gone for this bluey colour, Air Force blue is what I call it. A piece of card you need, which is 8 1/4 by 11. I need to score it on the long side at 5 1/4 by 5 3/4 to make yourself a 1/2 inch spine. So this is the piece here, 8 1/4 up by 11, and I've scored at 5 1/4 and 5 3/4, and that's going to give me my little folio piece like this. Then I need a front and back panel measuring 5 by 8 inches, and I need 2 of those from the paper pad. I'm just going to pop that on the screen for a minute so that you can just take a screenshot of those instructions when I keep coming back to them. So front and back panels is 5 by 8 inches, and I've got 2. So from the papers, I've chosen this one and this one. Now I don't know whether this one's a bit too bold, so I'm going to go with that on the back because I think that works nicely. And I've gone for this one. I think I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to go that way from a front. Now at this point, you need to decide whether you want to be able to tie it up. I do, so I'm going to put some ribbon underneath. So just to do that, all I'm going to do is find my middle point, and I reckon I've done about 36 inches here, which is probably too big, but there's my middle, and I'm just going to add those on with a bit of tape, like so. Okay, and then all I'm going to do next is add on my panels of paper. So I'm just going to use some tacky glue. The thing with these papers from Simple Stories is they are all pretty on both sides, so you have got a bit of a choice to try and find out which one you want to use. I'm just going to add my glue on there, put that one down, and the measurements on these allows you to have a nice little border as well around the sides. So get that stuck on, make sure it looks level, especially over where you've got your ribbon. Now it depends whether you want to ink these papers. I'm going just with a nice clean cut look on these, so I'm not inking the edges, but you can ink the edges and you can round the edges if you want to. I'm just going to stick with what I've got here. Just put an extra bits of glue on there just around that ribbon. And just make sure I've got that kind of levelish on. That's what I'm going to go with there. And that's going to be my back panel. So that's my folder sorted out there. Make sure it bends, and that's it sorted. So then I'm inside now. So for the inside, on either side, depends which way you want to do it. On this side, I'm going to put some pockets. I've made my pockets 5 by 3.5 inches, and I'm going to cut 3 of them. I'm also going to get my punch. Bear with me a second. I've got a circle punch. This is a 2-inch punch. but you can use any size you like. And I've cut these 3 pieces, which are 5 across by 3.5 down. And to make sure that I've got my little, I'm going to put a little, what do you call it, finger, well, so that you can get in them. I can't think of the word at the moment. It's the heat today. We're up to 30 odd in the UK, and it is boiling and we're not used to it. So I'm going to cut through all 3 at the same time there. And I'm up in my little spare room crafting here, and it's like an oven. But keep going. So there is my 3. So that's made me 3 nice pockets. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap at the top, because in case I want to put something in so I can see it out. Finger pull pieces, that's what I was on about. So you want to start by putting your first one on, deciding which way around you want them. And all I'm going to do is to glue down the side. So you don't want to go too far over. Oops. Keep it within a distance there. And the first one, I'm just going to come down a bit, just so that there's room for you to slot whatever it is you're going to pop in there in. Now to practice a bit with my crafting, because I've not done some for a couple of weeks, so I've put too much glue on there. So let's get that on. Right, there we go. Less glue on the next one. So pop this one on, bit of glue on both sides here and on the bottom. There we go. Now just want to judge that roughly, so I'm going to go to here, I think. While it's still damp, let's have a look. Yep, can come down a smidge more there. So it's just eyeballing it, and as long as you've got your first one on, your others should be easier to get in then. There we go. Come down a little bit more even. There we are. Okay, and then I'm going to pop my third one on. Third pocket on here. Again, along the side and the bottom. And then we can have that one, get it in shot there, at the bottom. So that's nice. So that's our 3 pockets. So we've now got 3 pockets in, which is great. So that's that side. You could do them a bit more spacey. You can measure. I've got a bigger one there than there. It doesn't really matter to me, but you can alter that if you want to. Then I'm going to do, so that's my pockets, and this side is going to be my flaps. Now for my flaps, I've taken 6 4 by 5 inch pieces of card. So this is the 4 by 5 inch, 5 inches by 4, and on the 4 inch side I've scored at 1/2 inch on each one, and I've got 6 of them. So here is my 6. And I've also on these decided to round the corners, and I've used the 1/2 inch punch on my little crocodile to do those. So that has now got my, pop that away. I've now got 6 of those. I've got 2 of the yellow because I quite like the yellow, brightening that up. So all you do for this is take your first one. I've scored all mine at 1/2 inch and bent them over. Oops, start off on the right side. So when you've got your piece of paper facing you on this 1/2 inch side, you want to pop it on the top there. Just get this glue off, and you want to line that up with the top of your little folio. So I'm going to have mine there, and the first one is the important one to get straight. So let's just take a moment to get that right. Make sure we've got it on there. That's good. There we go. And then all you do is you take your second one, you add your glue again along this piece, fold it down flat, and you put this up against the last one. Now you can either leave a small gap if if you want your page to come down a bit further, because you have got leeway, or you can put it exactly up. There's mine there, left a tiny gap, and that's where I am there. Make sure they're all running level. Give that a little tweak, that's it. Okay, then we get the next one. So this will give you your waterfall effect. Pop that one on. It will also provide you with lots more space to pop pictures, because you can easily put a 3x4 picture on these. There's a nice big space there for adding your images. I'm going to tweak that over a smidge. There we go. Make sure that's level. Yep. Okay, there's that one in. Get my next one, and the papers on these are all, as you can see, lovely. Do I want those two together? That is the question. Or should I go with that one? I'll vary it up with that one, I think. Go that one, and I'll go that one. Just trying to decide which way round I want these. That way, I think. Okay, so pop this next one on. Put that one up against there. Make sure they fall in line. Smidge over on that one. There we go. There's that one down. And I'm going to come in with this one, I think. I mean, you could do these all the way down. I've just done 6 of these, but it's entirely up to you, because there's plenty of room if you want to do the whole side of this as a waterfall section. Yep. And then the last one here. Pop the last one on. Put this one on. Just here. Put this one up against there. There we go. Pop that one down. I think I'm over a bit there. Further over that way. At least with the wet glue you have got time to wiggle if you need to wiggle it about a touch. You have got that little bit of wiggle room, which always helps, doesn't it? So there is our 6 layers, and then you can flip those back, put your pictures on, put your journaling on, add some panels for journaling. And then I've got my final tuck pocket, which is 4 by 5 inches, and I've cut one of those, and that is intended to go down here. So you can either make it a pocket that goes this way, or you can make it a pocket from this side. It depends whether you want little elements stuck out from the side. It's entirely up to you. For a little bit of difference, I think I'm going to make mine a tuck pocket from the side. And I'm going to find a smaller hole punch here. Let's have a look. See if I can find my smaller punch. Which is always the way. Should have been prepared, because I can't find it. So let's make ourselves a small hole there. Oops. And that will give us that side pocket. So I'm going to pop mine like that. That gives me room to journal on there. And this time I'm going to put my glue on the 2 long edges and the short edge. That gives me a good piece along there. And I'm going to just stick that at the bottom. Now this gap I'm going to add some of my stickers in a minute, so that will be covered. So there we are with that. Okay. Now a little tip here, if you have got a pocket like this and you want to be able to get in it, just before you just glue it down, give it a little squeeze and it'll come up just ever so much, ever so tiny there, just a tiny bit, but it'll allow you to get in there a bit easier afterwards. So once you've got all your flaps on, give them all a good crease down because they'll tend to rise otherwise. Let's pop those all down. That makes that nice and flat. And that is the basis really of our flip album, which gives you loads of room, as you can see. So for my stickers, I wanted to put this gingham piece in. So I'm going to add that in. Now I know that that's 5 inches. So I am going to see roughly what, oh, I've got 5 inches here, whether they are a true inch, not sure. Let's see where we're up to with 5. So if I cut to that there, and I don't have to take them off then. I'm going to go with that there, I think. There we go. And I'm going to add this piece, I think, this way. That will give me it just needs a tiny touch coming off each of those sides, so let's just trim this and get this right. Yep, that's about perfect. I'm going to pop that way, and that gives me a bit more of a finished look there. I like that. And that's one tiny piece from the sticker sheet. So I've now got to decorate. And I've used, if you remember from the previous part of the video, I bought the 12 by 12 pad. So 12 by 12 pad, 12 by 12 sheets. So I've got these little pieces of topper sections that I'm going to add in. I've got plenty of room, you can see how they fit in. Now you don't need to have the whole one in on that one if you don't want to. I'm just going to put mine here. I'm going to add another piece. I'm going to have this one and going in that way actually, I think. I'll put that there for now, see whether you can't actually tell that that's in there though, can you? So let's not go with that one. Let's instead pop a little journaling note in here. I'm going to put that way, and then I'm going to add an element to that in a second. So let's pop that there. I have then got these extra pieces to go in. I've got some tags that I've cut. These are my tags. And what I've got for this piece here is off that tag sheet, I cut 3 of them together, then folded them with a hello friend so I can add more to that. Now you can hole punch through this if you like, but then they'll all be tied together. So what I've got is a little piece of ribbon. Now you can either staple that to there and have that, but it's going to stick out the side. Because what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to pop that in this pocket. So let's just get my pocket sorted here. I've got loads of room in this pocket, but I don't want it to disappear completely, which is why I want to put something on the end of it. Have I got anything on my sticker sheet that I could use? No tabs on there, so no. So I'm going to use some ribbon. What I think I'll do is I'll punch a hole in the first one. So let's get my crop dial and punch that one in there. There we go. Got that one punched. Oops. And then I will add in my little piece of ribbon. Couldn't have got a much smaller piece of ribbon actually. I'm going to pop that through there. There's that one in. Let me just cut that a bit better. So I'm just going to go over the bin a second. So there's my little piece there that I can add in, and that will pop itself, oops, get the 3 pieces in, that will pop itself out of the side there. That looks cute. Now I can do the same up here if I want to. I can add these ones in. and I can have one stuck out the top there. So let's just do the same again on that one. Let's punch that hole through there. Take another piece of ribbon and add that one in. It just gives another little bit of interest to your album before we add a little bit more decoration. So let's just trim those pieces. That gives us a bit up there. Let's put that one in. Add that one in, there's a bit of a tilt there. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. There's room to go in here as well, and also room for all these other pieces. Now what you can put as well, so there's plenty of room to add in, is to decorate. So what I've got to decorate is I've got some of the pieces from the floral elements, and first of all I want to add in my a title, and I'm going to use this Easy Breezy. I think either Easy Breezy or Happy. I quite like Easy Breezy. I'm going to add my Easy Breezy on here. Let's just put that down for a second and see how that looks. Yeah, Easy Breezy. That's my summer album. Excuse me, hay fever time. Excuse me. Pop those on, and I've also got some butterflies from this collection that I'm going to add on as well, because I think they will look pretty on the outside. So let's pop those on. Just going to add some glue up the middle of those. Decide where I want those. I think I want them like that, I think. Smaller, yeah. Let's pop those on. Just a little bit of glue just up the middles. Let's put that there. I like that. Okay. That looks nice for the cover for me. Then I've got inside here. Now I want to add a bit more of these flowers in, so I'm going to pop these flowers on the bottom area, and I think on this top area too, just to add a bit more pizzazz to that. So let's pop that one on. Now I could add that one with a little bit of foam tape, so let me just find my foam tape. Here we go. Just got a couple of little foam pads here. I'm going to add those onto the back. Just because I've got that, see, I've got the 1/2 inch spine, so it does allow for some depth to your pieces that you add on. Just remember not to go over the edge. So there's that one on, and I'm going to do the same down here. I think I'm going to pop some foam pads down the bottom, and that one I'm just going to have a think like that. Take those pieces off. There we go. Put that over that black of that butterfly. That's it. Okay, what else have we got now? Do we need some little sentiments going on there? I think the days like these would be nice to have. Days like these, I think I like that up there. So let's put that days like these on level. Then I can have my images underneath, and maybe something down the bottom here. What do we need down the bottom? Do we just want a little heart? A little blue heart there maybe? Just put that little blue heart on. That looks cute. Maybe a little yellow heart to go with it. There we go. That's nice. Just a little added extra on at the bottom down there. Now you can add a sentiment on as well if you like. What have we got? We've got days like these. Let's have happy. a little happy down the bottom here as well. So we have that, just a little cluster of those. Looks lovely. And that, I think, is my album, but I'm just going to finish it, I think, as well, with some gems. I do like a couple of gems on. I've got some red gems, so I am going to add, first of all, a gem to my butterflies, because I think they always look cute with a gem on. And do I want 3 more adding down here, or do I not? No, I think I'll leave that as it is. I'm just going to add those 2 gems on. That's enough. So that is what we've got for our little daily, well, a day's album, if you want to. We can tie that up with our ribbon here. Let's see how we're going with this. How big, I've given myself way too big piece of ribbon here. Let's just get it tied neatly. Yeah, I have given myself way too big a piece. Let's trim that off. There we go. That looks fairly okay there. And then when you open that up, you've got inside plenty of room then to add all these pieces. There's room for loads in here. Really is room for loads. I could do with another hole punch in here, I think. Let's just punch that one out. And again, maybe, have I got any more ribbon left? I think I've disappeared my piece of ribbon. Yeah. Well, I need to put a piece of ribbon around that one and then pop that one in, so I'll do that for after. So we've got that one in, and that is our flap and pocket folio. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll post some pictures after this video, and I look forward to hearing what you think. If you do like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.